Deadly. Sorry about that. Some technical issues with just make sure everything's up and working now. Make sure audio's good this time. Okay, good. Okay. Try this for the second time around without any fuck ups. Yeah, a little bit wider now this time. Welcome to Strip Down News, where I dig through all the news and find all the good stuff so you guys don't have to. So today in Manitoba, southwestern Manitoba, the temperature is minus 22 degrees Celsius. And for you Yankees down in the States, that's 7.2 degrees, minus 7.6 degrees Fahrenheit. And today I'm gonna do some gold prices, gold and silver prices. So silver is sitting at $85.61 per ounce right now. And then gold is sitting at, last time I checked, was $4,840 per ounce. And also milestone for gold is today. Today gold reached a high, its highest it has ever been in since September 2025, and gold was sitting earlier today at $5,685 per ounce. So gold is really bouncing around all over the place due to the uncertainties with Venezuela and these trade deals and stuff that are happening. Um, and Canadian news: Canada signs a deal with South Korea to bring automotive manufacturing to Canada. So that's going to put some more tariffs and probably defund some of the automakers even more from the US into Canada. So could be good, could be bad. If Canada, US is going to pull funding from automakers in Canada, obviously you're going to have some backing from South Korea, but just prepare to start seeing more South Korean vehicles sold and manufactured here. But could be good for the auto workers. So we'll see how that plays out in the next little bit. And UK Prime Minister Keir is in China for a 4-day meeting. He has 3 days left. He's sitting there with Jinping, uh, trying to have a sophisticated relationship with China, is so they say. So, what dealing with US President Trump isn't sophisticated enough? You have to go to China and have a sophisticated conversation with Xi Jinping. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Kier comes back. So next week, uh, be interesting to see what kind of trade deals the UK Prime Minister had agreed with Xi Jinping and in China there. Uh, uh, yeah, trade deals could be good on both sides. After Carney's previous trip to China, he agreed to bring 49,000 electric vehicles into Canada as an agreement to lower certain tariffs on certain goods coming out of Canada going into China and certain goods coming from China into Canada. And along with that, Carney agreed to a deal with China to get $7 billion of farmers and ranchers, fishermen, and some skilled trade workers work over to China. So there's $7 billion that Carney is getting out to market. So again, you have that 6-7-6-7. Who are you going to deal with? The auto workers or all the farmers, fishermen, and ranchers out there? Because there's definitely a lot more ranchers and farmers out there than there is auto workers. So at the end of the day, I got it working now. Thanks, Ducky, for that. I just totally wasted my 4 o'clock timeline. So it'll be good to see what's coming that away with China, and let's see what kind of more tariffs Carney is going to wind up here for that. And then auto workers are still mad. US is pulling funding from some auto worker or auto manufacturing companies in Canada. along with Trump calling out Canada's aerospace industry, specifically Bombardier by name, stating that he wants to defund all or decertify all aircraft coming out of Canada. And this is in retribution to Canada decertifying a US based aircraft company, Gulfstream. These aircraft are not allowed to be used in Canada, and yeah, you just can't certify them. So that's just some retaliation. And then there's going to be also a 50% tariffs on all aircraft produced in Canada being sold into the United States. So not just getting hurt in the automotive industry, we're getting hit in the aerospace ass. So that's pretty pretty bad thing. But we're probably just going to watch Bombardier go to the federal government and ask for more funding. You know, hey, you have to save us. Can you bail us out again? Just like Bombardier normally does. And Bombardier is not just aerospace. They build locomotives, lots of different industrial equipment. And then Carney, speaking of China, Carney had to sit down in Alberta with Premier Smith about opening the door for oil exports to China. So I think this is kind of like a kind of a give and get. This is kind of a Carney is trying to patch over some grievances and stuff Alberta has with the federal government and trying to quash this separation to the United States. So if he kind of puts this in place, kind of patch things over with Alberta Premier Smith, and then get oil out to market, it's going to make Alberta happy. It'll make Albertans happy. Just the next step that's going to be an issue is dealing with the BC premiers to use that pipeline to continue to get this oil onto tankers and shipped off to China. And what's kind of good about this is we're going to be sending raw product. So let their refineries deal with it, let them deal with the waste, and it's a good win-win. We're getting some of our oil sands, some of the oil waste that we really don't have the refineries to be dealing with. Let China sit there and wreck their vehicles with it, and it would be a good planned obsolescence for the Chinese economy too, using oil sands oil in the millions of vehicles they have there. Now you're going to have more maintenance costs, more parts to be purchased, and more vehicle maintenance in the long run. So there's more tax dollars and revenue right there for the Chinese government in the long run. So it could be a double down good thing for both sides on that way, as long as the BC government allows this pipeline to start shipping oil to China. So that's the only, but really, the federal government, Carney can just say, too bad, so sad, we're doing it. And if he has to do it, I'm totally for it. Let's get that oil out that we can't do anything with in the first place. And then speaking of BC Premier David Alloy said yesterday, well, sorry, there was a secret meeting. Let me go back a little bit. There was a secret meeting between some Albertans and some US government officials to uh, come to a term to annex Alberta into the United States. So literally separate Alberta into the United States. And David Alloy is now calling out authorities to, start looking into these people. These people should be called into treason, in for treason, because not only like you're trying to ask a section of a country to be annexed into another country, that's treason, and you're doing this behind the federal government's back. That is absolute treason. And like to compare this to what happened in Ottawa, where people's fund or bank accounts were getting frozen and they were getting looked into and getting thrown in jail. Like Pat King, for instance, he was jailed for up to 191 days for mischief for leading this protest. But the protest was about freedom, well, not anti-vax, but people who didn't want the vaccine but couldn't work because they did not take the vaccine. And then people just getting fed up of being told what to do. Like, that's what that was all about. And then the federal government goes after those people who started those protests. Why isn't the federal government going after these people who are having meetings behind the government's back, to separate to the United States. These people need to be found and looked into, and start looking into their bank accounts, start freezing their bank accounts. That's absolute treason, and these people need to be looked into and investigated 100%. I'm 100% Canadian. I will promote Canadian, and if anyone wants to annex that, like remember in the 70s, 60s and 70s, when Quebec wanted to separate from Canada, we had people, premiers, and getting kidnapped and murdered over this because they wanted to separate. Like, look, it's slowly happening over again. Just wait. There's gonna be like a lot more like problems that are gonna come up with this. What else do we got here? Yeah, and then speaking of this trade deal that Trump's doing here, how is this affecting the US people? Okay, well, some results just came in from November. The US trade deficit doubled in November this year to $56.8 billion. That's the highest since 1992. And in 1992, it was only $34.7 billion in deficit due to products not leaving the US, everything being kind of frozen. And the reason this happened in 1992, oh, sorry, did I say three before? 1992. The reason that the deficit was so bad in 92 is because there was a recession. And that's what's happening right now. If all these tariffs and all these things are coming into play, like there's either going to be a huge recession or some type of economic crisis that's going to affect us, whether it's housing, but there's going to be some type of economic crisis that's going to hit uh, somehow. And I can't really predict how it's going to go that way, but just everyone start paying attention to what's happening with these tariffs because it's going to affect us on all runs here. To And the UN, United Nations, is talking about closing the doors due to the fact that other UN members and other participants of the UN are not paying their fair share and not participating properly. So, issue is, well, Trump has noted in the past that Canada has not been contributing their part to the UN. I looked up this morning, and as far as I know, as of 2026, Canada has paid up in full all their dues to the UN and had participated in all UN military exercises and had contributed to these exercises. So for Trump to say that Canada isn't paying their fair share to the UN, that's false. And for those to the people in the UN that aren't paying their fair share, then the UN really needs to start thinking about, okay, who do we want? If they can't be a part of the club, then go away. Like that's what it comes down to. The UN's going to have to start cutting ties with some of these countries. If they don't want to pull their fair share, then they don't have to be a part of the UN, and that's just the way it should be. And that's just my understanding or my thoughts. And now to France with some more international news. France is now discussing banning all social media to anyone 15 years and younger. Other countries across the world have done this right now. I'm waiting to see some results within the next 6 months to see how this is actually affecting places who have allowed this to come into place. But it could be good, could be bad. Maybe we'll see more kids outside playing, like or using their imagination. And more world news. Turkey is stepping in as a mediator between United States and Iran. They're going to sit there and see if they can get these two nations to, kind of come to some agreements, and maybe cool their heads and cool their jets a little bit. But with the way things are going between Iran and US right now, I don't know. We could use as many mediators as we can, but good on you, Turkey. Good for you. Really, thanks for the help, and the world probably really appreciates it. You probably don't get enough flack for that. So, cheers to you, Turkey. You're doing a great job. And speaking of Turkey doing a great job, Turkey is moving has a is pushing their electric car market. The TOOG, called the TOG, translated as Turkey's Automotive Joint Venture Group. So now they're pushing electric vehicles throughout Europe. I believe it's around 19% of all electric vehicles are going to be probably produced throughout Turkey, and good for them. Turkey, European, I think the electric vehicles will probably work a little bit better in Europe than they will here in Canada, for sure. Uh, any more international news? We have a little bit of Brandon news. Brandon is a city just 200 kilometers west of Winnipeg, Manitoba. Winnipeg's the largest city. Brandon would be its second largest city. Population around 56,000 people. Residents of Brandon, expect your taxes to be going up. Taxes will be going up because Brandon Police Services will be getting new body cams. And the estimated cost of these body cams to distribute these body cams for each officer will be a total of around $500,000, so $500,000. So yeah, you tired of paying taxes yet? Well, they're just going up more. I think, yeah. Oh, UN, France, Turkey, and oh, yeah, this just in. Actually, I have two last minute things that just came in before I started. I can't believe I even forgot about this. Catherine O'Hara, the beloved mom from Home Alone. Well, I don't know if you'd call her beloved. She forgot her kid at home. So Catherine O'Hara, and she was also the mom on Schitt's Creek. She had passed, I believe she was only 71 years old. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see what's going to happen with Schitt's Creek and if they continue on with the show, if they even are. As far as I know, I think the show is still in production. And another last minute Canadian news. This is big Montreal news. Montreal Mafia hitman of Canada, Freddie Silva, has been found murdered. Yeah, after turning witness to authorities to rat out the Rizzuto mob. And so, yeah, that's interesting. That's just news. I don't have any more information on, but it's believed that the mob had him taken care of. It had been believed that he was having an affair with somebody connected to the Rizzuto mob, uh, but don't know if those relations were still ongoing. But as everything stands right now, it's still up in the air. But within the next couple of days, we'll probably know what happened with him, and expect there to be some more hits put out with the Montreal mob due to the fact that they're still in jail and waiting for a court date. And there's still some witnesses out there that need to be taken care of. So, anyone tied to that court case, good luck and better have eyes behind your back. So there's a new hitman in town. Glad I don't live in Quebec anymore. But that's it for today, everyone. Sorry about earlier. I had some mic issues, which I didn't realize that were happening. Uh, Still one person in here. I could put up a link here. I think once a week or every Friday, I'm gonna start doing StreamYard, so I can bring in people, topics that I've talked about through the week. If anybody wants to come in and discuss with me or get your 2 cents, I kind of sit on the fence like a cat, just kind of waiting to see which side is greener. But by the way it sounds right now, it's probably best for everyone to be just kind of sitting up on the fence, and just look both ways and try not to have everything collapse in at you at the same time. But with all these trades and price of gold and things happening right now, there's definitely some sign of some type of recession or economic downturn here. Something's about to pop. They keep talking about the housing market in Canada about to crash, but as far as I know, the way the Chinese are funneling money into Canada and into the housing market, I think the housing market's going to stay strong as long as there's foreign money coming in to pay for these properties. But that's just my 2 cents. You guys can think whatever way you want. I have no quarrels about that. I'm just here to tell you the important stuff that you should be listening to, that could affect us in the long run. I left all the nonsense out, and I won't talk about like school shootings or mass shootings or uh, just stupid stuff like gun violence. I won't talk about any of that stuff because there's enough of that on TV, and that's what this channel is all about, is just getting the basic news out. And a half an hour a day, that's better than sitting there watching the news for about 45 minutes to an hour, and just for that one segment you wanted to watch. But things are slowly getting a little bit better here. Once I start getting things set up here, I'm gonna start doing some green screen, get things looking a little bit more, professional. But Monday to Friday, I'm gonna be here 4 o'clock. Um, there'll be postings on my community page, and if anyone feels that any of my information should be like questioned or anything, shout me out, call me out. I have no problems. I like being corrected. I've been corrected once already about the Utsi man, so that was good. It wasn't the tattoo part. I accidentally said 35,000 years instead of 3,500 years. So little corrections, just a little slip of the tongue, blah blah blah. But I'm Canadian, so you got to give me that. So there's always going to be a little bit of slip of the tongue. And I'll try not to swear within the first 10 minutes. And then after that, I'll start letting it fly. Just do the YouTube, way YouTube is set up. They really watch you for about the first 10 minutes. But wow. So I got about, it's not too bad. So yeah, anyone, if there's anything you guys want me to talk about or something in the news that intrigues you that you think that should be talked about, leave a comment and uh yeah, leave a comment, hit the like button, and yeah, I'll see you guys probably Monday unless something happens, something big happens. Yeah, I'll just be popping on. There will be no notification or anything, but I'll see you guys Monday at 4 o'clock, and let's see what let's see what the Prime Minister of the UK got himself into throughout the weekend there. Hopefully he stays away from the Chinese hookers. But anyways, hey everyone, I'm out of here, and I'll see you yeah, Monday, 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock Central Time. Be there, be square. Okay, I'm out of here.